Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Global Village, Language and Global Pathways. I'm Naomi.
And I'm Johnson. Today we're talking about something many people struggle with: confidence. Why do some people believe in themselves, while others doubt their abilities even when they are capable?
That's a very important topic, Johnson. Confidence is something many people want, but not everyone understands clearly.
Naomi, what is confidence?
Confidence is believing in yourself, believing that you can learn, improve, and handle challenges in life.
That sounds simple, but in reality, it's not always easy to feel that way.
You're absolutely right. Many people think confidence means being perfect or never feeling afraid, but that's not true.
Then, what is the difference between confidence and perfection?
Perfection is about having no mistakes. Confidence is about being okay with mistakes and still moving forward.
That's a powerful distinction.
Yes, and it's very important. Because if people wait until they are perfect, they may never start anything.
That explains why many people hesitate to try new things.
Exactly. Fear of failure often stops people from building confidence.
Let me ask you this. Is confidence something people are born with, or can it be developed?
Confidence can definitely be learned.
How does that happen?
It starts with small actions. Every time you try something new, even if it's difficult, you build a little bit of confidence.
So confidence grows through action, not just thinking?
Exactly. You cannot think your way into confidence. You have to act your way into it.
That's interesting. Can you give an example?
Sure. For example, if someone is afraid of speaking English, they might avoid speaking completely. But if they start with small steps, like saying one sentence a day, they slowly become more comfortable.
So small actions create progress over time.
Yes, and that progress builds confidence.
I've noticed that people often compare themselves to others, and that makes them feel less confident.
That's a very common problem. When you compare yourself to others, you focus on what you lack instead of what you have.
Then what should people focus on instead?
They should focus on their own progress. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday?
That shifts the focus from competition to growth.
Exactly. Confidence comes from progress, not from being better than others.
Let me ask you something deeper. What role does failure play in building confidence?
Failure is actually a very important part of confidence.
Really? That sounds surprising.
Yes, when you face failure and continue trying, you prove to yourself that you are strong enough to handle challenges.
So confidence is built not when things are easy, but when we overcome difficulties?
Exactly. Confidence is not about avoiding challenges, it's about facing them.
That's a very different way of thinking.
Yes, and it changes everything. When you see challenges as opportunities to grow, you become more confident over time.
This makes me think about how people can start building confidence today.
I would suggest three simple steps. First, take small actions every day.
That builds consistency.
Exactly. Second, accept mistakes as part of learning.
That reduces fear.
And third, celebrate small progress.
That helps people stay motivated.
Yes, confidence grows when you recognize your effort, not just your results.
I like that idea. It feels more realistic and encouraging.
Exactly. Confidence is not something you suddenly have one day, it is something you build over time.
So in the end, confidence comes from experience?
Yes, experience, effort, and progress. Not from perfection, but from growth.
That's a very meaningful message.
Thank you, Johnson.
This conversation really makes me reflect on how I see myself and my abilities.
Me too. Confidence is something we all need to keep building.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Naomi.
Thank you, Johnson. And thank you, everyone, for listening to Global Village, Language and Global Pathways.
We hope today's episode helps you become more confident step by step.
Take care and we'll see you in the next episode.